These are the fastest rising isekai anime shaking the fandom right now, packed with power fantasy, revenge arcs, and unexpected world building twists unfolding rapidly. Landing off our list at number 10, Magic Knight Rayearth 2026. Three ordinary schoolgirls are suddenly transported into the mystical world of Sephiroth, where the fate of a collapsing realm depends on their awakening as legendary magic knights, forced to master elemental powers, summon weapons, and fight through escalating trials while uncovering the truth behind their unexpected summoning. Eventually awakening. This series stands out for its classic isekai foundation blended with magical girl adventure energy, delivering nostalgic storytelling that still feels impactful today. The world design is vivid, and the character progression keeps tension high. It remains a defining gateway for fans exploring fantasy-driven anime from earlier eras. Timeless appeal. Moving down the rankings to number 9, Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord. A carefree noble suddenly reincarnates into a strategic fantasy world where managing a weak territory becomes his unexpected path to survival. Using calm decision-making, resource management, and modern knowledge, he transforms failing lands into a stable domain while avoiding wars, politics, and hidden threats from rival factions strategically. This anime appeals to viewers who enjoy slow-burn kingdom building and intelligent leadership over brute force battles. The tone is relaxed but layered with constant political tension, making every decision meaningful. It stands out for turning traditional power fantasy expectations into a thoughtful simulation of governance and survival pressure through strategy. Breaking into our top 8, at number 8, Mato Seihei no Slave 2. In a world invaded by interdimensional monsters known as Shuki, humanity discovers mysterious female commanders who gain unique powers from consuming resources of a parallel dimension. A young man becomes bonded to one such commander, gaining transformative abilities while navigating battles, hierarchy, and evolving supernatural warfare on multiple fronts. The series is known for its intense combat choreography, power dynamics, and layered character relationships that constantly shift alliances and motivations. It blends action-heavy sequences with supernatural world-building, creating a tense atmosphere where trust is fragile, and every battle reshapes the balance between humanity and the invading forces over time evolving. Moving down to number 7, Honzuki no Gekkokujo Ryoshu no Yujo. A book-loving college student reincarnates into a medieval fantasy society where books are rare and reserved for the elite. Born into a weak noble family, she uses her modern knowledge and obsession with reading to reinvent printing methods, reshape culture, and survive within rigid social hierarchies, gradually advancing. This adaptation is praised for its slow-paced storytelling, detailed world-building, and focus on intellectual problem-solving rather than combat-driven progression. It captures the struggle of survival in a restrictive society while emphasizing innovation and perseverance, making it one of the most thoughtful isekai narratives in recent years within the genre. Sliding into number 6, Akuyaku Reijo wa Ringoku no Utaishi ni Dekiai Sareru. A young woman reincarnates as a villainess in an aristocratic fantasy world where she is destined for exile or downfall due to predetermined story events. Instead of following the original path, she uses awareness of future outcomes to avoid ruin and attract unexpected political affection from royalty nobility circles. The appeal lies in its reversal of villainous tropes, turning a doomed character into someone who manipulates fate through intelligence rather than brute strength. Romantic tension and political intrigue intertwine, creating a narrative that balances emotional stakes with strategic decision-making in a highly structured noble society setting that feels surprisingly refreshing. Continuing at number 5, Tsuiho Sareta Tensei Jukishi wa Game Chishiki de Musosuru. A former player of a fantasy role-playing game is reincarnated into the same world he once mastered, but as a disgraced knight exiled from his order. Using deep game knowledge of hidden mechanics, quests, and exploits, he rebuilds his strength and dominates battles across territories systematically and efficiently. This concept stands out for blending metagaming knowledge with traditional fantasy warfare, allowing the protagonist to break expected power curves through understanding of game systems. The pacing is fast, with constant upgrades and tactical victories, making it especially appealing to fans who enjoy optimization-driven progression narratives with strong strategic depth. Breaking into our top 4 at number 4, Sentenced to be a Hero. A condemned criminal is given an unusual sentence: serve as a hero in a war against overwhelming demonic forces. Sent to the front lines instead of execution, he must survive brutal battles, complete dangerous missions, and gradually uncover the truth behind the penal system that controls hero assignments within society. The premise delivers a darker take on the hero trope, replacing glory with punishment and survival pressure. Each mission escalates stakes, forcing brutal decisions and highlighting systemic injustice. It excels in portraying moral ambiguity, where heroism is not celebrated but enforced through coercion, creating a tense and unpredictable narrative from start onward. Entering the top 3 at number 3, Make-You no Shiori. A young traveler becomes trapped inside a shifting labyrinth world where reality bends and escape routes constantly change. To survive, they must decipher hidden rules, form alliances, and uncover fragmented memories that may reveal why the labyrinth exists and how their arrival is connected to its structure, unknown origin. The strength of this concept lies in its mystery-driven progression, where survival depends on understanding shifting environments rather than raw power. Each discovery reshapes perception of the labyrinth, creating constant tension. It keeps viewers engaged through psychological uncertainty, exploration, and the gradual unveiling of deeper narrative layers that builds lasting suspense. Sliding into number 2, My Gift. Level 99999 Unlimited Gacha. Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, I'm out for revenge. A young adventurer is betrayed and left for dead in a remote dungeon, only to awaken with a limitless gacha-based power system that grants overwhelming abilities. Fueled by revenge, he climbs from abandonment to dominance, dismantling enemies while uncovering the corruption behind his former allies and betrayal truths. This anime delivers pure revenge fantasy energy with rapid power escalation and constant progression through randomized abilities. The protagonist's rise from helplessness to overwhelming strength is intensely satisfying. It combines dungeon crawling with unpredictable gacha mechanics, creating addictive pacing that keeps viewers engaged through every transformation and confrontation scene after each evolution. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Gimi Ziju. A mysterious world of steampunk-inspired occult forces emerges when an ordinary man awakens with knowledge of forbidden rituals, tarot-like pathways, and hidden organizations controlling reality. As he ascends supernatural sequences of power, he becomes entangled in conspiracies that blur the line between divinity and madness, gradually ascending. This series stands at the peak due to its intricate world building, layered occult systems, and slow-burning power progression that rewards attention to detail. Every arc deepens the mystery, blending horror, mystery, and supernatural politics into a cohesive experience that feels both intellectually rich and emotionally gripping from start to unforgettable end. These isekai titles show how diverse the genre has become, mixing revenge, politics, and world-building into unique experiences. Each entry brings a different flavor of progression fantasy. Drop your standout picks below and compare how these worlds reshape your expectations for modern fantasy storytelling. Overall impact.